I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Silly Jedi, silly Jedi.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello there.
At last! Where have you been?
Nice of you guys to drop by.
Ah, good. New acquisitions.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jedi Toy Masters. I'm Maurice, and welcome to Star Wars Car Talk. I think I said that backwards this week. It's Jedi Toy Masters at Instagram, but this is Star Wars Car Talk. So I hope you had a great week. I hope you are having a great day whenever you're listening to this. If you're listening to this in podcast form, please make sure you tell a friend, you subscribe, you write me a nice review on that old iTunes thing. Do people still use iTunes? I don't know. I just feel like we get our music like everywhere now, like between Amazon and Spotify and Pandora and Apple Music. It's like, do people actually use iTunes? I mean, I don't think iTunes is a thing anymore, because I think it's Apple Music now, depending on what operating system you're running. And now this is not Mac Tech Talk. This is Star Wars Car Talk. So I'm Maurice from Jedi Toy Masters. I hope you're having a wonderful day or week. And man, who's excited for some Bad Batch, guys? Let's get right into it. It's coming. We are literally like less than a week away, or maybe a week away, right? A week away? Not week way, a week away. We are so close to May 4th. May 4th is gearing up to be a nice release, a nice break, if you will. A nice break from the nothingness that exists right now, in the sense that there isn't really a whole lot to be super excited about Star Wars, although I think we're kind of spoiled at this point. I mean, from 2015 till now, like for these last 5.5 years, we've had nothing but Star Wars. Think about that. Think about that for a second. Let's ponder on that. For the last 5.5 years, we've had nothing but Star Wars. From gearing up to The Force Awakens to, after that, The Force Awakens, obviously, having Star Wars Rebels be a thing. The Star Wars celebrations every year. The toys alive and well, in the form of, the Black Series and the vintage line, and you still had like the regular 3 3/4-inch line out there for Force Awakens and stuff like that, and then you had then we had The Last Jet. We had Rogue One. Then we had Last Jedi. Then we had Star Wars Resistance. We had a lot. We've had a lot. Then, of course, you had the 7th season of Clone Wars. You had, before that, you had Star Wars Rebels wrapping up. Then we had The Rise of Skywalker, a 2nd season of Resistance. I mean, it's a lot. We had Solo. Let's not forget about Solo. And then The Mandalorian. Oh, my gosh. Then, of course, with The Mandalorian came Disney Plus, and having access to everything Star Wars for so long, all in one place, I mean. These last 5, from 2015 to now, to the present, 2021, we've had a lot of Star Wars, and I think we're just a little spoiled. Now, granted, yes, we've had a lot of Star Wars. Not all of the Star Wars that we've gotten has been good Star Wars, and that's where I think that's where we end up with, a lot of disagreements amongst the fans, and and a lot of toxicity and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you love Star Wars and you love all aspects of Star Wars, and you take the good, you take the bad, like we said last week, then man, we've gotten it good. We got it good. We got a good thing here. Same Marvel fans. I think Marvel fans have also, I mean, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a fan of all the characters from Marvel Comics, you know, the last 10, 11 years have been a wonderful time to be a Marvel fan with all the films and, you know, the comic books alive and well, you know, and everything like that. So geek culture is not going anywhere, and it's been good. It's been good, guys. Regardless of what the media says, of what the haters say and the complainers, it's good. It's still good. It could be better. I'm not going to say that it can't be better. It could be better, but it's still good nonetheless. So, but here we are, everything so far culminating. I mean, even not to get sidetracked again, but even the books. I mean, we've had so many books. If you're into the books and the comics, granted, you know, a lot of mixed reviews with this High Republic series that's out now. But regardless of all that, it's like, you like it, you consume it. You don't like it, you don't consume it. That's, we basically vote. We let the creators know what they should be making by not buying what we think they should not be making, right? And even amongst the toy fans, toy collectors, you know, the toy collecting is alive and well. You know, you have the vintage, not the vintage line. I'm talking about the vintage Kenner 1978 to 83 or whatever. Collectors out there that are still alive and well. You know, really amazing community that we have over on Instagram. I would say I'm an honorary member of that, because I'm not a big vintage Kenner Star Wars collector. You know, I have a few. I admire it. And I think it's amazing, the people that collect them and the displays, and, you know, so many on Instagram. Just to give a couple shout outs, I mean, there's Star Wars Vintage Club, and on Instagram if you want to search them out. And they have there's Gonk Toys, which make amazing acrylics for protecting not just your vintage stuff, but all the way even your modern stuff, which is amazing. So all this stuff has created this ecosystem of just fans supporting fans and fans creating things. I mean, you have YouTubers like Star Wars Theory that are just it's just the biggest Star Wars YouTuber on the internet. I mean, I think there's the official Star Wars YouTube channel, and then there's like Star Wars Theory. I mean, and then you have so many others that are just like, you know, doing the Force's work out there. But they're all going to be busy next week, because we got May the 4th, and oh boy, we got so many announcements of toys, and we talked about them in these last couple of weeks. But also, there's more to come from what we understand. So May 4th, mark your calendars, May the 4th, be with you, will be another nice epic day to be a fan. You know, there's probably going to be a lot of online releases. Unfortunately, you know, because of COVID and all that, like, we're not going to be able to have what we've normally had, which is like, you know, and of course, you know, I remember when Toys R Us was still around, you know, we had Toys R Us to go to. And, you know, I remember, I think a couple of years ago, Force Fridays, I think, I remember hitting up a Toys R Us at midnight and then immediately racing to the Target, you know, and then that weekend driving to the Walmart, you know, and another Target. I mean, it was fun. It's fun to just go and see what's out there. It's also could be disappointing, a little discouraging, because not every store seems to really get the same amount of stuff. But not to go on a toy tangent, but toys is going to be a big part of May the 4th. But the big thing, here it is. I'm going to talk about it now. The Bad Batch. Oh my gosh, the Bad Batch looks so good. I'm probably going to like have the trailer on loop over here if you're watching on YouTube just as I talk about it. Because man, I'm so excited. And I don't think there's another three people on Earth that are as excited as my three sons. They are super excited about the Bad Batch. They love the Bad Batch. They've been watching the 3 episodes from season 7 of the Clone Wars, the 3 episodes that the Bad Batch were in. They've been watching those like on loop all week in preparation for the premiere of the Bad Batch. Excuse me. And I recently picked them up. I found it on eBay. I'm not here going to argue or question the legitimacy of this, but I was able to get these little minifigures. I'm not going to say what trademark toy line they look like. I'm just going to say they're minifigures. And they look like they're compatible with a block building set. So anyway, but they had the whole little set of the Bad Batch figures. It comes with a little Wrecker and Crosshair and Hunter and Tech. And then they have Captain Rex and Cody and Ahsoka in this little set. And I found it on eBay. It wasn't like one of those things that came from China, like you had to wait a month because it comes from China. I forgot what state it was from, the vendor, but it came pretty quick. And we opened it up, and my boys are loving them. They're loving their little figures. They're ready for the Bad Batch. I originally wanted to get them the Black Series figures. They're not all out. Some of them are pre-ordered, but some of them have been coming out. But those Black Series figures, they're when you try to get out and they pull you back in. But it's just so exciting. It's exciting to be excited about Star Wars again. And I'm like, okay, well, we were just excited about Star Wars just a few months ago when Mandalorian Season 2 was happening. Yeah, I know, but it's exciting to be excited again. And here we are again. I just saw a post. I saw a post where somebody put that I guess somebody got access to what the first 3 episodes of the Bad Batch are going to be, more or less. And the first episode is I forgot the name of it, but it's going to be like 75 minutes long. So that's really exciting. But if we want to, like, I know there's tons of people that have broken down the trailer, but the one thing that I want to kind of touch on is that I find interesting is that in the trailer you do see Captain Rex, first of all. And I think that's kind of cool. A nice little callback to him, because at this point, this is like right after the fall. This is right after Episode 3, right after Order 66. And, obviously Rex and Ahsoka are out there, but I guess at some point, maybe Rex and Ahsoka kind of like go their separate ways because they have to go into hiding. Or maybe, Rex could maybe kind of like go back to the Republic. I mean, nobody knows that he doesn't have his chip. Everyone on that ship in that last episode of Clone Wars died. So there's like nobody there. He's like the lone survivor. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe he's the one that kind of lets the Bad Batch guys know what happened and what's happening. I wonder if they're going to touch on the fact that the Bad Batch guys, they don't gang A-Team. they don't have those chips in their head. So Order 66 maybe didn't work on them. But then we also see in the trailer, they're back on Kamino at the cloning facility, and there's like this little girl who ends up going on this adventure with them this season. And she's wearing like a thing on her, it's either a necklace or it's like a little thing on her head that's like the same symbol as the Kamino, those Kamino aliens, the cloners. Now I saw somewhere that they're saying, I don't know how accurate this is, but they're saying that she is indeed a clone. She's the last clone, and she's a female. At least I think she is. I'm pretty sure she is. So that's interesting. Like, who is that? Are they setting something up? Is this a sneaky Dave Filoni, George Lucas little setup there where they're setting something up that they can eventually, they can kind of pay off and somehow connect it to the sequel trilogy? I think that's interesting to think about, especially with all this. Oh boy, everybody's complaining about the sequels, and I know, and everybody's saying, well, there's another Abrams cut out there, and but who cares? It's done. The sequel trilogy, it happened. It happened. Can't do anything about it. And there's a lot of people that love them. So you know what? That's it. They are what they are. And for me, like I can't ignore them. I don't have to watch them. I have Disney Plus. I have them on Blu-ray. I don't know why, but I do. But they're on Disney Plus. I can watch them anytime I want, and I might every now and then. I might pop them in. I know my boys like them, but they don't gravitate towards them. So they love watching Clone Wars. And they're super excited about the Bad Batch, and they love Mandalorian, and they go back and revisit Star Wars Rebels as the animated show, and we can always go back and revisit the original trilogy and even the prequels. They were watching the prequels last week. They dug up my prequel DVDs, my episode 1, 2, and 3 DVDs, and they have a little TV in their playroom that has a built-in like DVD player. So they went and grabbed the DVDs because that was like the easiest thing for them to figure out how to get some media on that TV. And they popped in those DVDs, and they were watching the prequels. They were watching episode 1, episode 2, and then they watched episode 3. Like I love that. I love it. I get to experience being a fresh fan of Star Wars through them. And I think that was maybe not intentional, but an intentional thing that George Lucas set up. And I think that's why the Bad Batch is an important show, because even Clone Wars, Clone Wars was an important show, and it was important that they finished it, that they got the opportunity to finish season 7 and kind of wrap it up. And then now we get to have the Bad Batch as kind of like a continuation of the Clone Wars. That is something that I think can lead into Rebels. But what George Lucas, I think, did intentionally, unintentionally, is he created a fantasy tale, a fantasy world where we grew up watching it and enjoying it. And as we get older, we have nostalgia towards it. And then we share it with our children. And then we get to re-experience being a young fan again through them. And if anything, I think the evidence of that effect is found with the prequels, because kids that saw the prequels for the first time love them. They love Jar Jar. All the things that we complain about, they don't mind. And yet, when I was a teenager and in my 20s when the prequels came out. And yeah, I was excited because it was new Star Wars, but at the same time, after the dust settled, it was just like, man, I don't think it was as good as the originals. Why? Because we hold the originals in such high esteem because of the nostalgia factor, and because obviously they were different films, but they were supposed to be different films. And George made the prequels different, but it took a long time to really understand that. Now with kids who are experiencing Star Wars for the first time and love the prequels, I get to enjoy the prequels without being all hung up on all the stuff that I don't like about them, if that makes sense. And maybe that'll happen too with the sequel trilogy. Maybe they'll grow on me if I just kind of loosen up. But again, see, the counter argument to that is that, George wasn't involved in the sequel trilogy, and the sequel trilogy wasn't really planned out at all. And there's just so many things that you have to try to avoid and not think about to enjoy them as an adult. As a kid, you don't have to think about those things. You can just enjoy them for what they are. You can just be a fan of Rey, a fan of Poe, and all that. So anyway, didn't want to go too long this morning as I'm driving here in traffic, but I'm super excited about the Bad Batch, guys. I'm so excited, and I don't even know what to expect. I'm assuming it's going to be just a one season thing. I can't, as much, I would love for them to be more than one season, but at the same time, it would be nice for this to be kind of like a self-contained story in one season. Like, I think that would be interesting. Similarly to kind of like how Marvel is doing, like with the WandaVision and the Falcon and Winter Soldier, where it was like a one season kind of self-contained story. I think I would prefer that. And I think Obi-Wan should do that too. It should be like a one season, kind of like a super long movie broken up into episodes, you know? But who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. What do you guys think about the Bad Batch? I'm super excited about it. I just think those characters are really cool, and the fact that they were George Lucas's idea. Like, he wanted to play around with this, like, you know, it's literally 80s action movies. It's literally like Predator, Rambo, Commando, all these guys as clones. I mean, you have Hunter, who's basically Rambo. You know what I mean? Like, you have Wrecker, who's like, I don't know, he's like a cross between like an Arnold Schwarzenegger and like a Jesse Ventura from Predator, if you remember that. You know, you have Tech. Of course, you got to have Tech. You got to have a Tech guy. Every action movie group, you know, team has their Tech guy. And then, of course, Crosshair. Like, you have like that's almost like the Deadshot guy. You know, the silent but deadly. You know, I just think that's so cool. And you have Echo, who's kind of like the guy that joined the team. He's like us. You know. So it's just going to be so interesting. This is like the Expendables in Star Wars, and it's going to be interesting to see that transition of these characters. How do they fit in a world where the clones aren't necessarily needed anymore, and their mission now is to kind of betray the Jedi and to wipe the galaxy of Jedi, and to kind of help Palpatine with this new galactic empire. And that's not what they signed up for, even though they didn't sign up. They were kind of made to be this. So, and how do they fit in a world where, you know, now you're slowly transitioning to stormtroopers and an empire, and you hear mumbles and grumbles in the universe of people that are not for this. This is not what the Clone Wars was about. This is not why we wanted the Republic to win. It's all interesting questions and interesting things to tackle, to watch as an adult, and for kids to really look at and to see how complicated the world is, even in Star Wars world. So, but what are your thoughts? I'd love to know what you're most excited about. Who's your favorite Bad Batch character? Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're listening to us, just hit me up on Instagram at Jedi Toy Masters. I'd love to get your input on that and get a conversation started. And check out some of our posts, our recent posts. We did some toy unboxings, and I took some pictures. I took a picture of of those little mini figures, Bad Batch mini figures that we picked up. So, are you excited about the toys? Are you excited about the Bad Batch Black Series figures? Have you pre-ordered them? Is that something you're into? Let me know. Let's talk. Let's talk. Here in the car. That's why it's Star Wars Car Talk, you know. But guys, I'm still stuck in traffic here. It's taking me a long time to get to where I'm going today. But I hope you're not stuck in traffic. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Stay safe out there. Be safe. And oh man, next week, just to think, a week away. We're like a week away from enjoying all the Star Wars goodies. Guys, this is so much fun being a fan. Let's just be cool. Let's be nice to each other. You know, we're all a family. We're all a Star Wars family. We're all part of that Star Wars fandom. But guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And remember,
The Force will be with you, always.